right. All right, well, good morning. We'll get started. It's a couple minutes later than I'd like, but we're in charge of our own recording today. But Student of the Month, the last Friday of most months in the school year is kind of one of my favorite events. Really, we honor just a few, between 10 and 12 students a month out of just under 1,200 students in the entire school. So if you were here this morning, family, students, it's really a great accomplishment, and it's something that I really like to do every month. So we'll go ahead and get started. Here's how it'll work. I'll call the teacher up. Teacher will come up, they'll say many nice things. Sometimes they'll wait and call the student up. Sometimes they'll call the student up right with them, so that kind of varies. Go through that, they'll get an award and a certificate. They'll then go over there in the corner, get a picture, and at the end, all of our Student of the Month award winners will get up and take one group photo. At the end, you can also enjoy coffee and donuts, and I think there's even some other refreshments over there. So I'll go ahead and get started. We actually have a holdover from December. So Ms. Scully, if you wouldn't mind coming on up, there you are.
Hello, good morning. Thanks for letting me have a belated December Student of the Month. So I have the pleasure of presenting our December Student of the Month for the Performing Arts Department to our senior Isa Navarro. And as the band director, I had this really unique opportunity to see students grow from freshman year on for 4 years, where a lot of teachers see students kind of passing through one semester. So I can tell you that Isa is one of our biggest success stories, and I don't really remember meeting many students for the first time, but I will not forget the first time I met Isa, where we were standing on the turf in August. He's wearing all black, pants, hoodie, and to make a little bit of a connection, I go over and I'm like, I'm also concerned for his health. It's 95 degrees out on this turf in August, and I'm like, are you okay? And he goes, I don't want to be here. My mom made me be here. And if you told me I'd be standing here about to talk about 4 years of accolades and his musical accomplishments, I would have laughed, because that was the student I met. And my mom is making me stand here in August and wearing all black, which is exactly what I said not to do. But his passion has absolutely blossomed in the last 4 years. He's joined every ensemble that's here for him. And not only is he a member of every ensemble here, but he then goes outside of school. He auditions for All Shore. He got in for the first time this year. He auditioned to be in the Towson Honor Band. He got into that honor band this year. The other day I said, we're doing solo and ensemble. It's totally optional. He says, all right, I'm going to find the music. I'm going to organize the ensemble. I'm going to run the rehearsals on my own, and when he does that, they typically get superior ratings. So he sets the best example for our students in our program, and I'm very thankful that I can witness him grow as a human and a musician over the last 4 years. And that's not really because of anything I'm doing here. It's really his parents are an incredible support system, not only for the program, but just have raised incredible humans. He adds humor and leadership and integrity to everything he does, which seems simple, but those are traits that you don't often see in high school students. His musicianship is a gift that we have been lucky to have for the last 4 years, and he has established an incredible legacy for our program, and I'm very thankful. Congratulations.
All right, so I guess to officially begin our January portion, I'll go ahead. I know he's missing some of his instruction at Queen Anne's County High School right now. So, Ms. Hessen, if you want to come on up.
So the CTE department has a fantastic program called Work-Based Learning, which James is a part of it. His pathway for graduation is carpentry. And throughout the semester of work-based learning, I started with James saying, hey, I got a couple of students in my class that might need help getting a placement. I might be able to help them. So he actively tried to help me do my job, which was fantastic because he loves his trade so much that he was dedicated to help his classmates get placed in a job site where they could actually exercise what they're learning in the classroom. Fast forward to the end of the semester, and we had Pathways Night, and the carpentry teacher was unable to make it, so James came and repped his table. The number of parents from underclassmen that came up and talked about how knowledgeable and passionate James was about his pathway was amazing. So I think he's inspired a whole group of underclassmen to go into carpentry as they work towards education or graduation. So I just wanted to say thank you and keep doing great work.
All right, next from our English department, let's see, Miss Warren, come on up. There she is.
Good morning, everybody. I am Katie Warren. I teach English here at Kent Island High School. And I've had the pleasure of having Christina in my year-long English class. I wanted to read some writing that she wrote for me last semester. And this is based, I know, girl, I know. And it's based on two really interesting texts. One's by Pat Moore called Fences, about division, and the other's about, it's called Falling Girl, about a girl who falls off a building. Crazy stuff. She said, in conclusion, Falling Girl and Fences are both texts that support the theme that in life, never let obstacles stop you from pursuing the things you love and finding joy. Society can learn that in life, many people let others stop you from doing things that they love, but also they stop themselves from doing what they enjoy because they care what others think. The inner voice of Bazzotti and Mora reveals how important it is to enjoy life, because if you don't, then you might regret this action later. In order to avoid disappointment, it is vital for a person to take responsibility for their own actions and make them as positive as possible. One thing that Christina taught me this year was the Scout Creed. I guess it's the Creed. I don't know what you guys call it. The Oath. Okay, so on my board, she wrote this the other day. Just we were doodling, and this is what she wrote, and I was like, oh my God, that's her. So Christina's a Scout, and she's a leader in her Scout troop, and she wrote this on my board, and I was like, this is her. So a Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, clean, and reverent. And if you have the honor of knowing Christina Mitchell, you will learn that from her. She's all of those things and more, and I can't wait to see what happens. Junior year for you, girl. So congratulations. Yep.
I know everyone loves having their writing read aloud.
I know. Sorry.
Nope. I'm going to institute that at faculty meetings. We'll start that. All right. Math department, Miss Lawrence. Oh, you're right there. I'm yelling at you like you're on the other side of the room.
All right. My name is Miss Lawrence, and I had the pleasure of having Lily Clark last semester in my Algebra 2 class. Lily is everything you would want in a student. She comes to class on time, she's prepared, she has this smile on her face. Sometimes it's a real smile, and sometimes it's I hate what I'm doing smile, but there's always a smile there. So no matter what was happening, I knew I could look at her, and she's still smiling at me. She is respectful, she's hardworking, she's great at math. She would tell you she's not, but she is. So she's very humble. She has a lot of good talents, and she's very humble in all of her attributes. One of the other things that I remember about Lily is she would come during advisory, and I would have a crazy room full of all these students, not of which I could help all of them at the same time, and I'd be like, hey Lily, do you want to take these 3 kids? And she would work through any content that we were working with other classmates, and they never had a problem working with her because she's patient and she's kind and she's humble. So they never felt uncomfortable, and she would do a great job teaching them. So not only does she know the content, but she knows it well enough to help other students. She was really a joy to have, and kudos to her family for raising a wonderful young lady. And I was really thankful to have her last semester, so congratulations.
All right. Next up from our Performing Arts Department, Ms. Sherman, come on up.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ms. Sherman. I teach choir, piano, and music appreciation here at Kent Island High School. When I first met George, it was through the Kent Island High School, the theater camp that Mr. Reagan does, who also teaches drama here at the high school. And I musically direct that every summer. And that's when I first learned how respectful and attentive and committed of a student that he was. I was happy to see that he enrolled in my piano course when he came to high school for this past semester. And I don't think I would be alone for any other teachers that know him in describing him as quiet. I think that's the common term. He's a man of few words. In my personal schedule, I teach piano and choir back to back. So when the school year started, I learned quickly that I needed to be the first one out of my piano class at the bell to make it all the way upstairs here to get to my choir class before the 9th graders started crowding in the doorway. So I made a general request to my piano class that if the last person in the room after me could just turn off the lights and shut my door, I'd be really, really appreciative. And after about a week of coming back to my classroom and always the door was shut, the lights were off, I assumed that it was one of my girl students who I'd known previously that was doing it every day. And so I thanked her, but she responded with, "I think George has been doing it every day." So that was my mistake. To my surprise, I turned to George and I asked if this was true, and he responded with a simple nod, and I thanked him. I can't confirm or deny that he did this every single day, although I think he did. But I began to sense that he took some pride in the assignment. He would practice piano every day until the bell rang. When most students had already packed up, it was almost as if to ensure that he'd be the last person in the room. This is a small task, but small actions can often have a big impact. He heard that something needed to be done, and he did it. But more importantly, he did not require recognition for this, nor do I think he was hoping for the acknowledgement, but he's getting it anyway. George is not one to raise his hand in class or draw attention to himself, yet shows us through his small actions our character can shine through just as brightly.
All right, next up from our Physical Education and Health Department, Mr. Lawrence. Come on up. If Mrs. Lawrence wasn't still here, I had a few other things to say.
I was going to say, that poor woman, I tell you. Good morning. Welcome. I'm going to brag on this guy for a little bit. I hope you don't mind. I'm not a big talker, so bear with me. I'm going to use some simple words that us PE guys use a lot. This is Dawkins Wagner. I've had the good fortune to have him in class for this will be the 3rd semester. So along the way with students, you just make a bond. I'll tell you a few things right now. He's excited for the Super Bowl because he's a Philly fan. So he is ripping to roll. That's right. I'll give you a few things that I love about him. He's responsible, he's kind. You're going to hear a theme throughout the day probably. Kind, responsible, he's a leader. He jumps in activities with a great attitude. I've been really fortunate to have him. One of the things I'm going to say that really impresses me is his drive. A lot of people wouldn't know this, but this guy's a really good kicker. Seems strange. We get out, we get into some activities with other students where we give them the opportunity, and this guy can put them through from 50 pretty steady. And as a coach myself, to see the drive and the desire to want to go to college and be a kicker is outstanding. You don't see that in a lot of kids that really have a goal to stay focused on. It's been my pleasure to have you the last 2 years. Congratulations. We're going to get that.
All right, next up from our Science Department, Ms. Salzberg, come on up.
Good morning. My name is Ms. Salzberg. This is Kaylee. I teach biology and biomed here at Kent Island, obviously. So I typed a few things, but I usually stray from it, but I'll try to keep it short. So this semester, I'm not kidding, I had the most amazing freshman biology classes that I've ever had, hands down. So the competition was definitely high. And we only get to do this as teachers once a year. So for me, it matters a lot who I choose to recognize up here. But Kaylee stood out. She definitely stood out. I'm going to use the word reserved. She, like me as a student, is reserved and quiet. But I could quickly see that she actually enjoyed learning. And that is something that I don't see as often as I wish I did, especially in a science class. So for those of you that don't know, I cannot teach intrinsic learning. That is something that she has, and I attribute that usually to parents for installing that. And I don't know if it's specific to science, but you could just clearly see that she actually enjoyed being there and learning what we were doing. And that is something, like I said, you can't teach that. You come to school with that. So I just wanted to say, I mean, she started out interested and curious, and that is a hallmark of success in science. I think as little kids, we all start out really curious, and then by the time we're in high school, we've lost a lot of that spark, and I still see it in her, which is why I chose her specifically. She's responsible. She emailed me before she was even absent to ask me what she needed to do to make it up. She stayed on top of her assignments, and she was always prepared and organized. And no matter who I put her in a group with, she never complained and always helped others and just got the job done. So mostly it's just her demeanor and her drive. It just reminds me of what I was like as a student, and it makes me want to come to work every day. So thank you, Kaylee. Thank you to her parents. Congratulations. You're welcome. Oh, here, Kaylee.
Nice try, Kaylee. Sorry, you're good. All right, next from our social studies department, Ms. McKenzie.
Good morning, everybody. So this is Parker Whiting. He is the epitome of an academic scholar. He is mature beyond his years, intelligent, and highly resilient. In the first days of my U.S. history course, I noticed how knowledgeable Parker was of just historical events, concepts, and could have thorough discussions with me. He was the role model amongst a group of predominantly male students that were difficult to manage in my 4th period class at the end of a day in high school. But Parker always completed his work. He helped his peers when he could, and he just made class enjoyable with his fun, energetic personality. He enjoys friendly banter and debates, and we've had a few. Unfortunately, this past semester, Parker lost his father quite suddenly. And however, Parker proved to be strong and resilient beyond his years. He came to school, he kept doing his work exceptionally, he kept being a role model, and you could just tell that he enjoyed being here. He was struggling at home, obviously, but he fought through this highly difficult situation and just kept true to himself, and with that, you honored your father in that regard. He taught all of us in the classroom, and I believe here at Kent Island High School, just how to be strong and resilient. Parker is highly intelligent, he's comical, but most importantly, he is just a strong and resilient human being. And these qualities are why I chose you for Student of the Month.
All right, tough one to follow, but we'll go with this one from Visual Arts Department. Ms. Neno, come on down.
So I'm Miss Neno. I teach 3D art, and this is Caroline. She has been with me since 3D 1, 3D 2, 3? No, we skipped that one. And she's in my portfolio and AP class now. She definitely liked art a lot when she first started, fell in love kind of with the pottery wheel, and has worked through many, many challenges on that. Even coming over to my house this summer and practicing, hanging out with my kids a little bit so she could practice extra on the wheel. She got one for Christmas, which is awesome, so she's been practicing at home too. And her work has really, really come a long way. I'm proud of her. She was vying for Student of the Month earlier this year, and I pushed her off until she wasn't expecting it. But she's definitely been on my radar. I'm really excited to see like what she does after high school. She's even in the Art Honor Society. She is my intern for the art department right now, which I'm super grateful for because she's going to help a lot with the art scene. She's helped me at art shows and sales on weekends, so she's kind of like fully all in with the arts, which has been awesome. Super responsible, respectful student. I am very, very grateful to have her, so congratulations.
All right, next up from our World Language Department, Ms. Lopez Miller, come on down.
Am I the last one?
No, second.
Okay. I'm happy because I usually get emotional, so sorry about that. All right. Good morning, everybody. Today is my absolute honor to recognize a truly outstanding student, Charlotte. So Charlotte is an exceptional young individual. She's responsible, she's hardworking, she's incredibly bright. She's an overachiever in the best way, always eager to learn and constantly looking for ways to improve her skills. No matter the topic or challenge, she's fully engaged and willing to participate, bringing energy and enthusiasm in every lesson. But what truly sets Charlotte apart is her biggest heart. She is one of the kindest students that I've ever met. She's always there to lend a helping hand, supporting her classmates without hesitation, and giving others with genuine kindness and generosity. Charlotte, it has been an absolute privilege for me to be your teacher this semester. Your dedication, your willingness, and compassion inspire everybody around you. I know she's going to accomplish great things, and she's going to continue to study Spanish. Congratulations. There you go. I did it.
Yes. All right, last but certainly not least, Miss Loveday, if you want to come on up. Perhaps the best hair, for sure, Jordan.
Good morning. So this is Jordan. Jordan, I've had the pleasure of teaching for 4 years now so far. He's always been respectful, responsible. He has great qualities as a student. But this year, he's impressed me the most because this year has been a lot about transitions. It's been very topsy-turvy. And Jordan has kind of rolled with those transitions. He's in a job skills school now where he's learning some soft skills and some hard-working skills. And I'm very proud of him, and I'm proud to be his teacher. So thank you, Jordan.
All right, well, that wraps up our Student of the Month, but again, I do want to highlight that there are 11 students, because we did one carryover from December out of just under 1,200 in the building, and as a few, I think, teachers, but at least one said, some departments only get one choice per year. So this is a very big accomplishment, and as the principal, it's very, very kind of heartwarming to do this. So take your time. The ceremony is done, but feel free to get donuts, coffee, and I think I do some extras. Oh yeah, I always forget this. As I said in the beginning, every award winner get up, take a group photo. Ms. Parsons will arrange that, and then you're all set.
Bring your trophies and your certificates up.
Thank you.